I think I've finally come up with a game plan for my money and how to handle my finances, and most importantly, what I'm thinking about doing as far as my student loans are concerned. Before I get into this video, if you do hear helicopters, they have been circling for the last couple of days. Sadly, Wednesday night there was a mass shooting in Maine, about a half hour from where I grew up, and the suspect has not been found yet. There's been a massive manhunt, and it's pretty scary. Certainly a reminder to take your mental health seriously, no matter what. The other update is my offshore trip has been delayed. It's been really good weather, so the crew that's out there is just like trying to push through the last additional 7 days and wrap this whole phase of the project up. And as long as nothing breaks and as long as the weather stays nice, they're gonna stay out there and I will not be needed. I'm not off the hook yet. We all know how the weather goes. If you are new here, I have only federal student loans left, and they're all on the SAVE plan, and I've talked in previous videos about how the system has structured, and we're learning how additional payments are being applied and things like that. So I'll link a video down below to that topic if you would like to check that out, but we'll skip all that for now. And for me specifically, we'll just say that my whole payment is going strictly to interest because I have a really big balance. So my game plan is, like many people have suggested, is to just save for them on the side and not pay additional as I go. I just want to keep adding to my emergency fund, which has somewhere a little over $30,000 in it. I just want to keep beefing up that account and hope and pray maybe one day, hopefully before I'm elderly, I will save up the full amount, and or I'll get to that 25-year mark where I'm supposed to have blanket forgiveness. That way, if that doesn't happen, I at least have been saving up and I'm prepared for that. If it does happen, then I have a lump saved up that I can pay in for taxes, since that forgiveness will be a taxable income for that year. And then if there's any left, I can use it for investing at that point or whatever. And that's just, of course, a very long-term thing, and things change, as we know, year by year. So that's just where the thought process is for right now. And I know it's not smart to just sit on a bunch of cash, but at least in a high yield account, it's growing some for me every month. That is just gonna, of course, help. The most important thing is that my student loan balance is not ever gonna grow. And yes, it does suck that I have a $335 a month interest-only payment that's just going to the government to cover interest. And then the rest is forgiven and we start again. And it does suck to have that payment, but I figure at least one day, theoretically, I should have enough saved up where the account balance is earning me more than that every month in interest. I don't know what that amount looks like. Who knows? It's gonna be so many years before I get my balance low enough to where any portion of my monthly payment is actually going to go to principal, because I'll be covering more than the interest. If I had to guess, it would probably have to be maybe $50,000 or less, $40,000 or less. I don't really know. And then maybe my $335 a month payment would start trickling to principal, but that's just so far away that I can't, it doesn't make sense to even try to put more on principal right now, as things are for me and my circumstances. So that's what I'm thinking. And so that way the money will just stay in the account it's already in. And yeah, I know it sounds dumb to just be setting or kind of slating my emergency fund as student loan savings, but whatever. I'm just going to call it savings, and then it's there for emergencies, whatever I need, whenever I need it as the years go. And it'll just be growing, at least in theory. And then I will use my student loan refund and my pension cash out. I will still put those towards real estate. And of course, by that for me, I mean buying a house hack as soon as I find one that makes financial sense. Since those were the purposes that I said I was going to use that money for, so just leave that money alone. There's no need to keep growing that. It should be a perfectly reasonable down payment when the time comes. And if not, I'll just take a little bit from the emergency fund / student loan savings to cover the rest. Everyone's going to think differently, of course, but it just feels like it's the right thing to do for me. And that way, any extra I can shave out of my W-2 income to set aside will go in there. I am thinking, as of right now, I'm going to put any YouTube income in there, and any direct support that I get from you guys will be added to it as well. So I think it'll probably grow a little bit faster than I'm hoping, I guess. Or I'm hopeful it'll grow faster than I'm thinking. It just feels like such a far away thing at the moment, just because it is such a big balance. But all we can do is just one step at a time, one day at a time. And of course, the intent of buying the house hack is to reduce my monthly housing costs, which of course frees up more money from my paycheck. So that will, in theory, whenever that time comes, help in that regard. And that should speed things up. At least that's the goal. We'll see. That's my plan for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.